Hi, I'm Kay, and welcome to my homeschooling channel. I love to encourage other moms in their homeschool journey. You are, of course, the parent of all your kids, but when you homeschool, you are a lone teacher in a small school, and we all need a little bit of encouragement. If this is the type of content you're looking for, please click like and subscribe down below. So in my last video, I discussed how I have decided to jump into Charlotte Mason teaching style next year in my homeschool. And one of the things, actually the main draw to Charlotte Mason teaching, was the enrichments. The idea of really exposing my child to the picture study and the composer study. Those kinds of things really drew me into changing styles. I wouldn't say I really had a style before, so it'd be eclectic. We had done unit study, we had done living books, we have done some textbooks, I guess you could say, but I'm trying to do, more across the board, Charlotte Mason. And it is definitely not just a teaching style, it is a parenting style as well. I'm not perfect in any of those yet. I've just kind of started my Charlotte Mason mom journey in the last few months. But when it came to the idea of enrichments, I really enjoyed it. I personally did a deep dive trying to learn about the enrichments by listening to the Simply Charlotte Mason podcast. And Sonia Schaefer has a playlist about, the different enrichments, and she does some of them in the videos. And I talked about that in the last video, but I tried it out at home. We did a poetry tea time. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. But I wanted to do some Charlotte Mason stuff with some friends. So I'm going to talk today about how I've started our Charlotte Mason co-op for next year and how it really only takes 2 families. So I have 2 friends, and their daughters are similar in age to my daughter. There is one little boy that's coming up in age, so it'll be a fun group, all elementary age. And what I wanted to do for my first co-op like this is really have something low key and low pressure for us. I did not want this to be a time when we gather where we all feel stressed and we all feel pressured and we're dreading it, right? I don't want that. I want something that adds to our life, adds to our homeschool experience. And so the idea is we are going to do poetry tea time together twice a month. And when we are not together, we're going to do poetry tea time at home. So it's going to be, whatever we would be doing at home, but just together. So I sat down with the 2 other moms and we went through the materials for enrichments that Simply Charlotte Mason had. We picked out our poet for next year. We picked out 3 artists, and we picked out 3 composers. And so we have those set out for next year, the order in which we're going to do them. Of course, the poet is all year long. We also decided we're going to do hymn study together during our time together. So far it's hymns, poet study, picture study, and composer study. We are all going to be doing the laying down the rails for Simply Charlotte Mason at home with our children, but when we get together for our poetry tea time twice a month, we're going to give updates to our friends and to the other moms about how we're doing on our habits update and on our habits journey. And so that, for me, I thought was a great idea because it provides a little bit of accountability. The kids can be excited to say, yes, I've actually, stopped biting my nails, or I've started listening to my mom a little bit more, or I'm doing really much better, with my bedtime or morning time routine. So those kinds of encouragement for the children to get together and say, yes, I'm doing better. I think that's very helpful with the habits, because you are sticking with a particular habit for 6 weeks. And so to have some accountability and some pressure to say, I'm doing a little bit better. Of course, there are going to be weeks where they say they aren't doing better, but that's just how it is. We're all human. So those are the things we're doing in our small poetry tea time together. We are also going to be doing verses at home. So we're going to have the opportunity for the kids to share any verses that they've been memorizing in the 2 weeks since we've met, but we're not necessarily going to be on the same page with our verses. We are going to be on the same page with our hymn study. We are going to pick a hymn every month to do together, or 2 hymns a month to do together. And so when the kids get together, we can actually sing it together at our poetry time. Another element that you can add to the tea time that doesn't add a lot of, again, that stress and that pressure before you get there is read aloud time. We are all going to be doing the same continent together next year. We're going to be doing Europe and map drill style, but there are living books that Simply Charlotte Mason recommends when you are studying Europe. So we're going to all be doing those books at home, but when we get together, if we say, okay, well, week 2 of the year, week 4 of the year, we're going to be in this particular chapter. That's what the guidelines say, right, for the enrichment study. I can read that chapter out loud. I can ask the kids for narration while they're, they can listen to me while they're having their snack. Or if there's another book that we've picked out that might not be listed on there, because there's not a book for every country, right? And then one of the other elements that we are adding to our poetry tea time is handicrafts. Now we're not, I'm trying not to lay too much on myself the first year. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew and then say I hate it, it was too much work. I'm trying to ease into it as quickly as possible, right, but still ease into it. So the handicraft thing is when one of us come across a project we really like, or a skill we think we could teach the kids, or we have a neighbor or grandma or somebody that can come teach something, then we will add it. And that will just kind of be off the cuff, a text between the friends and say, hey, I have this project I'd like to do next week. What is that? How does that sound, you guys? Yes, great. Okay, that's it. There's only 3 of us there, so it's nice to have that casual atmosphere without the pressure of having to come up with something every time, or to have the videos from Simply Charlotte Mason able to stream where all the kids can see it when we're together. So that is something I'm going to try to do more at home, the handicraft videos from the Simply Charlotte Mason. And I have several books for handicrafts or craft projects. I have, and I have clay at home, and we have needles and thread, and I've got like an Usborne, art projects thing. So anything we're kind of interested in like that, we can add casually. Now, we're not going to be doing Spanish together unless we've all decided we're going to do Spanish at home. But if we did that, we would do Spanish practice together. Not formal learning, but Spanish practice. Kind of like the habits update. Work on it at home, but you come and you update each other. So same thing, we could do Spanish practice together. And then the last element of a co-op is nature study. Theoretically, I would like to add nature study to our co-op together. However, we are all friends with another mom who does a once a month natural history club, and she does Charlotte Mason style. It is at local parks around here. We decided that we are going to do that club together, and why reinvent the wheel? Someone's already doing it, so we're going to participate in that together. So to sum it all up, our topics that we're going to cover during our poetry tea time are hymns, poetry, artists / picture study, composer study, going to give a habits update, going to share our verses with our friends that we've been learning at home. We're going to be doing ad hoc handicrafts or art projects together, geography with the map drill, also some living books together about geography. And then we're going to, all 3 of us, join a once a month natural history club. So there are all kinds of things, though, you could add to a Charlotte Mason co-op. It just kind of depends on what the moms are looking for, right? The ages of the kids as well. If your kids are all readers and they're all really into literature, you could do literature study together where the kids come ready to discuss, the chapters they've read themselves in the last week or 2 weeks, depending on the frequency of your meetings. Again, you could do the Spanish practice if you're all doing the same foreign language. You could also do living history books together, history together. So it's all about what you want. But this is a great, easy way to start a small Charlotte Mason co-op. It's just whatever you would do at home during poetry tea time, you just do as a group. So we'll bring a couple snacks to share, all gather together, eat, and I'll hold up the picture and all the kids will do it together instead of just me and my daughter. Same thing with composer, we'll all listen. Same thing with poetry, we'll read together, sing the hymn together, do the geography drill together. And then you have that added element, right, of showing off the verses you've learned and the habits you've done, Spanish potentially, and then any handicrafts you want to do together. So I hope this is a helpful idea if you are just journeying into Charlotte Mason, or even if you've decided, after years of doing Charlotte Mason at home, you really want to do it with a couple of friends, but you don't know of a big formal group. There's not one near me. I looked on the Simply Charlotte Mason website in their co-op page, and there's not one for me. I'm multiple hours from the closest one that's listed on there. So I just found a couple moms and we got together and discussed it. I hope that is something that you're able to duplicate at your home, just again to encourage you that it can be done, it can be small, it can be mostly stressless, because this is not a co-op where we're all studying at home and then getting together and I'm having to teach and rotate or anything like that. That way as well, if there's a week where one of us is sick, the other moms are ready to go with what they've been doing at home, or we can move it to another week and simply plug in where we left off. Remember, click like and subscribe down below if you love homeschool content, and I hope to see you again soon.